This is NWHC Radio, a podcaster radio show focusing on punk and hardcore from the Pacific Northwest.
Hello, thanks for listening to episode 3 of NWHC Radio. If you checked out previous episodes, welcome back. If this is your first time, the purpose of this show is all about sharing. Northwest Hardcore is and always has been something special, and too much of that historically and present day flies under the radar way too often. And too much of it is just not available on streaming platforms, unfortunately. So I'll share some of that stuff that isn't easy to find, and some of it maybe doesn't even exist anywhere on the internet. And then I'll sprinkle in some favorites that everyone knows and has and listens to on the regular, and hype up some current bands. Big thanks and respect as always to the band Brotherhood, whose song "Breaking the Ice" is in our intro. And then shout out and respect to Ill Intent, whose song Numbskull is the outro. This is the first time I had to do this, but I knew it was coming. I have some corrections. On the last episode, I said that the Resolution record was a 7-inch. It is not a 7-inch, it's a 10-inch. I know this, I have it. It was just a slip of the tongue. But yeah, it's a 10-inch. The most hated format. The second thing I wanted to correct is I shamefully said that Neon Taste Records, who put out the Chain Whip record, is based in California. In my notes, I put a CA for Canada, and I just said California. So apologies to Neon Taste. It's a Vancouver, BC, I believe, base label. So check them out, support them. Get that Chain Whip record if you can find it. All right, without further ado, let's play some tunes. This first one is from a band from Portland now, but had kind of a journey as I understand it. I believe these kids are from Kansas City originally and then moved to Olympia, started this band, and then moved the band to Portland and now are a Portland-based band. This is Electric Chair with the song Bastards off of the Social Capital EP. Came out 2021 on Iron Long Records. That was Natural Evil from Boise, Idaho. Boise on top. The song is Crown of Rust from the Crown of Rust EP. Came out this year, a few months ago. Boise band, I believe one member is from Salt Lake City. So, little inner city crossover, if you see what I did there. Members of Rejection Pact, Witness Chamber, and a few others from that area. Really cool band. I'm really hyped to see kind of what they do next. Next up, I'm going to play the song 13 from Death Wish Kids. This is from their demo, or demo 7-inch, which was pressed in the year 2000, but I think maybe originally came out in 95. Discogs is not super helpful on this, but yeah, somewhere in that 95 to 2000 range. This is a band that featured Andrea Zolo from Pretty Girls Make Graves, before that band, obviously, and then also had members of Murder City Devils. Played a ton in the area around the mid 90s, early aughts. So if you went to any hardcore punk shows around that time, you probably saw them a ton. Song's called 13 from Death Wish Kids, Hopscotch Records. You just heard The Scratch by 7 Year Bitch off of the Viva Zapata record. Came out in 1994 on CZ Records. Seattle-based band. Wikipedia says their first show was with the Gits, which we talked about a little bit on episode 1 and played a awesome track from that band. 7 Year Bitch was a great band. Records are all really good. There's something about this record, though, that I think the recording just captures like a special magic. I think the vocals just sound so crisp and sick. I think it's just one of those instances where some studio magic happened and this record sounds amazing. Before that, you heard Galleons Lap, the song Without, off of Themes and Variations, a Counter-Industrial Revolution LP. It's quite a mouthful, but this is a great record. Came out in 1991, again on Scorch Records, which we talked about. The Resolution 10-inch came out on. Seattle-based band, members of Brotherhood, Tree People, Diddley Squat, Engine Kid, Christ on a Crutch, Sunny Day Real Estate, Foo Fighters, like, again, like a total who's who of Seattle hardcore. And this is a band that I never got to see, but if you ever talk to anyone that did see them or was around this area, you can tell the reverence with which they talk about this band and how impressive they were and how impressive this record is. I think it's one of the best examples of just the underrated gems from the Northwest, like records that people should celebrate the world over that doesn't really get the appreciation that it deserves. All right, we're going to take this up to Vancouver. The first hardcore band I ever saw was Sparkmarker opening up for Seaweed. I was lucky enough to see them with their original singer Ryan on vocals, because I saw them again later without him, and they were still awesome, but there was just something about his stage presence that was just amazing and insane. I'm going to play a song off the Products and Accessories LP, which he sang on. The song's called Send Me Symmetry. It came out originally on Final Notice Records as a CD, and it was just repressed on vinyl as a double LP gatefold by Indecision Records in 2017. Indecision still has some, so you can go pick it up from the website. Sounds great. Like the recording on this is incredible, especially for something from like the mid 90s. Don Fury recorded this, and it just sounds awesome. The bass tone is so sick. But yeah, this is the first hardcore band I ever saw, and like I'm sure everyone listening right now has that experience of the first hardcore band that they ever saw and how it was like game over from that point, right? Or you know, at least the first hardcore band that you saw that really like flipped that switch for you. Sparkmarker was that band for me, and I didn't even really kind of understand that they were in the hardcore scene until probably a few years later. But yeah, a super important band for me. The song's called Send Me Symmetry.
What
after Sparkmarker was Atrocities from the band Subvert out of Puyallup, Washington, 1990. This is from their self-titled LP. Members of this band went on to be in Christ Driver later, so if you ever went to any punk shows in the 90s, you definitely saw a Christ Driver shirt or two. Interestingly, John Q-Land Records just announced that they are going to press Subvert's demo onto 7-inch. That's due out around January, so follow John Q-Land on Instagram for updates. It's spelled JANKU_land on Instagram, and get all the latest on when that becomes available for pre-order or whatnot. After that was Olympia's Outlook with the song Dead Peasants. This band was so good. I really want to play something off of the LP because like the songwriting on that is just phenomenal. I wish the recording was a little bit better, but check out the LP Our Time Is Now, because it is really good. This song was off of the Vision cassette EP that came out in 2011. Super influential band for the Olympia area and the Northwest as a whole. Members went on to the Hysterics, Super Crush. Members were also in the band The Answer, Insubordinate, Stop at Nothing, which we just played on the last episode or the one before, and Strange Wilds and some others. Let's do a block of Seattle bands. This next one is a brand new band. Roger from Sinking Ships, Trial, Love is Red, has a new band with Jack from With Honor and some others. Band is called Plague Mind. The song's called Bury Me in Broken Promises. This is off of their self-titled debut EP that just came out like a month or two ago. Got to see them about a month ago up in Seattle, and they were super good, really tight. Like, definitely did not, it was their first show, and they definitely did not sound like a band playing their first show. They're pretty awesome. This song's called Bury Me in Broken Promises.
Trying to drown myself for 7 years.
That was the band Hardesty with the song I Killed Laura Palmer. Hardesty was a band that featured members of Stay Gold. Their drummer Eagle is on vocals. Eagle now plays in the Southern California band No Plan, which is super cool. Check them out if you haven't. And also, you probably saw on the internet that Stay Gold is playing some shows next year. So keep an eye out for those updates. Hardesty is another band that good luck finding their stuff on the internet. I couldn't find it anywhere. I had to track this record down on Discogs and buy it so I can rip a song and play it for y'all. I was going to put the whole record up, but it's got some scratches. So, luckily I was able to get this one song, which is the song that I really wanted to get because this band was really cool. And, you know, another one, like I said, that, super under the radar, really good. I think probably a lot of people that would like it has never heard of it. So, yeah. Funny story about this band. Their demo had, like an actual razor blade that was inserted into the layout, like into the cardboard, cover. And, I had a friend who was visiting, flew in to catch a show that they played and, you know, bought their demo and didn't realize that this was in his backpack. That this demo was in his backpack. This is year 2003. So like 9/11 was pretty fresh in the minds of TSA. And, he had this in his backpack going through airport security and, they kept running. He didn't realize it was in there. They kept running his backpack through the x-ray machine, like looking through it. And he's like, what is going on? And didn't realize it until, you know, they finally like let him through and he was sitting in his seat and, you know, realized that, there were some like TSA agents coming onto the plane and he like, you know, went to pull his Discman out and pop the CD and realized that this razor blade was in there and like freaked out and went to the bathroom and flushed the razor blade down the toilet. But it's kind of a funny, but yeah. Hardesty, I Killed Laura Palmer off of the What Doesn't Make Us Stronger Only Kills Us 12-inch, was on Excursion Records 2003. Before that, of course, you heard Undertow, At Both Ends off of the At Both Ends LP. This came out in 1994. Maybe the definitive song from the band that, to me, as someone who grew up, you know, where and when I did, is kind of the definitive Northwest hardcore band, personally. The song, the lyrics are cool. It's a song about ultimatums and choosing to fulfill your dreams rather than spending time with someone who doesn't support you in your dreams. And, you know, also kind of having to deal with and cope with the fact that the time that you spent emotionally distraught because you made what you think was the right decision, what you believe was the right decision, but, you know, still no less painful. All right. 2 more tracks and we're out of here. This next one, I'm going to take it to the Okanagan Valley, play something from Kelowna, BC. Putrid Brew is a band that I feel like if they weren't from kind of the middle of the nowhere would be huge. What a fantastic band. I'm going to play a song called World of Fear from the Return to the Valley LP. It came out in 2015. The song it's heavy, so bear with me a little bit, but it's kind of a powerful take on the epidemic of school shootings that we're currently facing. We have been facing for far too long and are probably going to unfortunately have to face for far too much longer. The intro has some samples of some survivors of school shootings kind of talking about their experiences, and it's fairly triggering, but it serves a point. And, you know, this song is about the idea of having to raise a child in a world where this happens so regularly. And, you know, the so-called leaders in government refuse to do anything about it. So, you know, parents are just sending their children's to fend for themselves into, you know, dangerous situations that shouldn't be dangerous.
Everyone at my table was shot. Everyone was at my table was shot. And then they left This world is cold and
I saw their justice. I saw the word of God. I saw their mercy. It was the firing squad. The Subhumans firing squad off of the firing squad 7-inch 1980 Quintessence Records. A band out of Vancouver, BC. Actually, I think they're from Burnaby, BC. An absolute classic. Not the UK Subhumans. This is Vancouver, BC's or Burnaby's The Subhumans. Want to hear more about this record? There was a good discussion about it on 185 Miles South, episode 170, where they talk about the side A and the side B of this record. Just a really interesting discussion. But I don't know if this is true, but the urban legend is... So there was a band called Stone Crazy. It was a rock band from Vancouver area. And the members of Stone Crazy saw the Ramones, and that was the end of Stone Crazy. They were so impacted by this experience that they changed their name and sound. They changed their name to the Skulls, and then, maybe broke up not too long after that. And then members of the Skulls went on to DOA and the Subhumans, which are, two of the most impactful Vancouver hardcore punk rock originators of all time. This song is also on the Incorrect Thoughts LP, which came out in 1980 as well on Friends Record. You can find it on all your streaming platforms. That's it for this episode. As always, I want to give a big extra special thank you to Zach from Intense Energy and 185 Miles South podcast for technical guidance. Also, just want to shout out some other podcasts that I haven't mentioned yet that I think are great and worth checking out. 100 Words or Less, Coffee and Hardcore, Northern Scene is another radio show style podcast out of Victoria. But thanks for checking us out. If you like any of these bands, please support them. Go buy their stuff. Go see them live if they're current bands. If you're looking for shows in the Northwest area, there's a number of Instagram and Twitter social media handles that you can follow to get up to speed on all the shows that are happening. Here and Now 604 on Instagram. You can follow Brainstem Productions on Instagram or Twitter. PNW Hardcore on Twitter. Instagram Boise Hardcore or Underdogs Boise. There's a ton more that I'm not thinking of right now, but follow the current bands and you'll get to see all the shows that they're playing, all the shows that they're hyping for their friends' bands, and spread the word. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter for however long Twitter lasts. Both are NWHC Radio, no spaces. And we'll try to get another episode in 3 weeks or so. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for spreading the word.